Dude, where did you even find Skyline chili out here?
One of those Talbot Engineering supply crates was just full of cans.
Okay, how many of these cans have you even eaten so far, Neal?
More than one, less than 5.
Okay, well, just get off your ass and help me and Coolerbot load the rest of these supplies so we can finally leave this frozen heck hole, all right? Get over here.
Cold weather diminishes your thirst response. Please monitor your fluids.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, shit, Neal, did you see that? I think something just ran by.
What? Oh, fuck. What was it?
It looked sort of snake-like.
Maybe it's a water moccasin.
Space snakes? Okay, fuck the crates. Let's just get back on the ship. Welcome to Crew Expendable. I am Skyline Chili consumer Hallstrom.
And I am Chex Mix consumer Rohrbacher.
And we're just a couple of hungry boys snacking our way through the alien universe.
Damn, ain't that the truth?
Not the one I was going to go with. Here's my alternate. We're just a couple of Talbot Engineering mining equipment collapsing into the frozen sea of the alien universe.
They're both real good. I love both of them.
Today, we are talking Alien Thaw issue 4 from Marvel Comics.
We sure are.
And I'm having a hard time remembering issue 1, 2, and 3. I know the broad strokes. Okay.
To be honest, I kind of am too. I'm specifically having trouble remembering more than just the basic gist of what happened in the previous issue.
Well, it is a fairly straightforward story, but I remember the core names, right? Obviously, I know Dayton and Zasha and Batia, right? Mm-hmm. I don't remember Wiener's name, the Weyland Yutani guy. I know it starts with a W.
I want to say it's Wendell, maybe, or Wesley.
It's Wendell. You're correct. It's
Wendell.
Wendell.
Okay.
I don't remember the badass Weyland Yutani ape trooper with the fucked up face now, who's like,
I don't remember him either.
We're gonna get.
I don't remember his name, rather.
No, we'll pick it up as we go. I know that there's a Xenomorph that is kind of fish-like and badass looking.
I think he got killed in the previous issue, though.
He did get killed, but then I think we saw a face hugger that was also oddly colored, maybe implying there will be more of them. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
These are guesses.
Yeah, neither am I. I do remember how issue 3 ended.
Yes, let's recap what we remember. Spoilers for Alien Thaw, the whole series. Mm-hmm. Okay. As a reminder, when we get these new issues, we read them for the first time on the podcast. So you get genuine first reactions. Sometimes that means we're wrong about things, and we figure it out in later issues, and that's
also
okay.
Correct. Yep, sure is.
So yeah, let's get caught up a little bit. How did issue 3 end? Issue
3 ended with there was some kind of big explosion on the big sheet of ice. And Zasha and Batia were on their way to what I believe it was the Boreas, maybe.
Yes.
That Dayton was on, and he was on the ship and only had like 1 or 2 Weyland Yutani personnel on the ship with him when the big explosion caused a bunch of cracks and made the ice cave in, and the Boreas sunk under the water with him still in it. Right. And while it was sinking, dozens of Xenomorphs were crawling out from the now crater onto the surface.
Holy smokes, that's right. Side note, Batia is pregnant, and I think she was having some complications maybe, or might have been beginning to go into labor. Right.
It's something like that certainly was happening. Yeah. Like it implied that something was going on, but we have not yet been told what specifically it is.
And she was headed back to her lab to get samples or data or something, because it was the only protection they have against whatever Weyland Yutani is going to try to fuck them up with.
For sure, yeah.
Not that it's going to help, because Weyland Yutani is corrupt, right?
Also correct.
Yeah. Side note, I guess we're in the year 2195 in this.
Mm-hmm.
We're still kind of early on in the cycle of things, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Not too long after the events of Aliens, I believe this is taking place.
Like 16 years, give or take.
Something like that. I'm not going to do the math right now. I got chili brain. I do want to say we may not be remembering the specifics of the other issues, but I think it's safe to say both of us have very much been enjoying this story arc so far, right?
Yeah, the fact that we don't remember some of it does not mean we didn't like it. It just means it's been a while since we've read it.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. It's been about a month since we did issue 3. Because we took we took that 18-hour cryo nap or whatever we did, 18-day cryo nap or whatever we said.
That is what we said, yes.
On the last episode. But I think part of this, not the storyline, maybe certain things, except for like the big events like the Boreas crashing into the ocean and the weird new Xenomorph, that the design that looks honestly pretty fucking great, is that this is a relatively simple story, right? It's just...
Sure is.
It's a family of 3 stuck on this ice planet, this engineering facility, who find Xenomorph samples. Weyland-Yutani comes to sort of take the whole thing over, but a bunch of Xenomorphs get loose and start killing everybody. It's classic Alien, right?
There literally wasn't even a subplot to this comic until issue 3, when those ape troopers are like, all right, we're going to track down and kill all these monsters.
Right.
Like up until then, there literally wasn't even a B plot. It was all just the main storyline up to then.
Now I believe we learned in Alien Trilogy that the ape suit troopers are called alien handlers.
That is correct. Yes. Sorry. I apologize.
And that is all we will refer to them as from now on. And that's, I mean, not really. That's a joke.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to remember to do that every time.
No, I'm not even sure alien handler was the right term, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it was.
Yeah. So before we jump into this bad boy, I'm going to give the credits. Again, this issue is written by Declan Shalvey with art by Andrea Broccardo, colors by Triona Farrell and Ruth Redmond. I don't remember that name from the last.
Yeah, I don't remember it either, but oh well, that's fine.
Letters by VC's Clayton Cowles with covers by Dyke Ruan and Matthew Wilson. And again, shout out to Jay Bowen for the design of these books. I do still like the design of these overall. I like the black panel separations. I don't think I've touched on that very much.
Yeah, the gutters are black instead of white in this comic. It looks cool.
I suppose we can, while I'm on this credit page, I could just read the synopsis. That might do a better job of bringing people up to speed.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll do it for this one. I don't think I'm going to do it every time.
Okay.
In 2122, the multinational corporation Weyland-Yutani diverted their commercial towing vehicle, the Nostromo, to the moon LV-426. Never heard of it. Weyland-Yutani, purporting to answer a possible distress call, secretly wished to secure specimens of a dangerous alien species known as xenomorphs for study and profit. Tragedy struck the crew. In 2179, a colony known as Hadley's Hope, built on LV-426, was overrun by xenomorphs. All rescue attempts failed. Now, the year is 2195. Talbot Engineering Incorporated sent scientist Batia Zahn, her partner Dayton, and daughter Zasha to research the water resources on the frozen moon LV-695. After Zasha discovered a facehugger frozen in the ice, Weyland-Yutani bought Talbot in hopes of collecting Batia's research and samples, believing she's been conducting some illicit experiments of her own. Before they could question her too thoroughly, an unusually colored xenomorph began terrorizing the base. In the chaos, Batia and Zasha sought to reunite with Dayton, who was imprisoned on the Weyland-Yutani ship, the Boreas. But just as Batia and Zasha were about to escape the base, the Boreas fell through the ice, with Dayton on board. Dozen more xenomorphs are now clawing their way to the surface. With the Boreas submerged, will anyone escape LV-695? So there you go, y'all caught up.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the cover of this thing first.
Well, we had a little sneak preview of it at the end of the last issue when they, showed us the cover, and it looks like a shot, like a close-up shot of a starship, like facing down the side of the ship.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of xenomorphs crawling up the side of it towards the camera.
Yeah, and its engines are on. So I was positing this means someone's getting off this planet because this is like in space. It could be in the ocean, like it could be. The background.
It certainly looks like it's in space though. Like when I saw it, that is also how my brain registered it. So,
well, we've got these speckles around it, like it could be snow, or air bubbles or something. I mean, who knows? We'll find out as we read. But
we sure will.
Another detail I remembered: one of the Weyland-Yutani troopers who is like survived so far and seems to not be following company orders anymore is a doctor. And I got a feeling that's going to play into whatever Bati is going through with her pregnancy.
And I'm pretty sure he has consistently and exclusively been referred to by Doc.
That's right.
So far under the comic. So we literally don't even know what his name is.
His name is Doc. Again,
that
I
is
think
correct.
We posited maybe he legally changed his name to Doc. Or maybe he became a doctor because his parents named him Doc. They just really wanted him to be one.
Could be.
Or a pure coincidence. Might just be pure coincidence.
Just like everything is an alien, you know?
Yeah, totally. Let's jump into this, baby.
All right.
Right away, we're seeing the USCSS Boreas 10251979 submerged underwater on a cliff. So it could get worse. It could fall off that cliff. Let's see if that happens.
Yeah, it's currently, it says here, it's 300 feet below the surface. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. What was that? Was that Millionaire Sub? The Ocean Gate or whatever?
Yeah. What about it?
Two things that shouldn't be submerged underwater. Anyway.
This looks like some xenomorphs that are getting torn up and shredded, or maybe already have been, because like we have the one here on the left, its smooth dome is broken open and its brain is coming out. There's a disembodied xenomorph arm drifting by. This other one got fucking aliens. It got torn in half at the waist.
Yeah, it got the full aliens.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So are these just pieces, or did they like crumble when the ship cracked through and like it smashed them or something?
I don't know. We haven't found out yet.
I guess
or maybe we never will. Who knows?
Dayton's thinking how much of a disaster this is, or it's all falling apart. We see a xenomorph head floating by. Dayton's eyes are fucking wide, dude.
Yeah, he's not looking great.
As a reminder, Dayton only has one arm.
Mm-hmm.
Still kicks some ass, which was nice to see. But now we're cutting to Wendell. It is Wendell. You were correct.
Yep.
Who's talking to the sergeant, telling him to get a hold of the situation. So I think all that dialogue on those Dayton panels, that was Wendell talking about how everything's a disaster and falling apart, because he's trying to get the sergeant to like get a hold of the situation, right? So
that's a good point. I wouldn't have made that connection. Good point though. And
so
the ape trooper, we couldn't remember the name of. His name is Harrison, and we also find out here the doc's name is Cleary. So that's fun.
Doc Cleary. Okay. I remember scouring for his name in the last issue. I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, they for sure did not say the doc's name in the last issue.
Yeah, but this sergeant here's on the comms with them. He's trying to see if they have eyes on the locals. That would be our family of 3, soon to be 4.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What if this book murders the pregnant lady? Jesus Christ. That would be fucked up.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. And the sergeant on the radio finds out that they're searching for, quote, an unidentified hostile, and he's like, oh shit, okay, come back here to the control room, we'll regroup. Actually, everyone listening, come back to the control room.
Smart.
And then there's a big thunk, and the two of them are like, huh?
We should say Harrison says they put down an unidentified hostile, so that was our cool the fishomorph.
You're right. I did miss that part. So that's the reason why the sergeant told him to come back.
Right.
Because he killed the hostile, not because there still is one. I apologize.
So Cleary, Doc Cleary and Harrison are about 15 minutes out as Wendell and the sergeant's got his sidearm drawn. He's like, better make it 5 minutes. Something's trying to get in this room.
Yeah, we don't see what it is, because as he points his gun at it, it cuts away to Batya and Zasha, who They're not doing well. They just watched Dayton die. Of course, we know he's alive, but they don't know that yet.
Before we get into their stuff, I want to talk about this room that Wendell and the sergeant are in. It looks like it's Nostromo style, I'm going to call it, right?
It is. That's correct.
The paneling and the table with the chairs around it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks comfortable as hell. What do you think it would cost to like remodel the inside of a house to look like this?
Probably a pretty penny, I would guess.
God, I mean, I bet I could carve those panels. We could get like some MDF and a router out. It would take a long time, but just like carve some like MDF panels for the wall. You know, I don't know what I do about the doors. I don't think I need fully automatic opening doors, but
I mean, it would be cool though.
It would be cool. But God, it's just a cozy room. This whole book, I've talked about it in the other issues. The cold weather outside, and then when they cut to like these inside scenes where everything just feels warm. I don't know.
See, me personally, I would not necessarily say I would describe a room that looks like the Nostromo's mess hall to be cozy, because that is the room Kane's chest exploded in.
I understand. Disasters have happened in these rooms, okay, but that's not the fault of like the designer,
Yeah, but like my point is that so far in the franchise, the movie franchise anyway, there was precisely one important thing that ever happened in a room that looked like this.
Sure, that's fair. It's a fair point.
My point is that's the association I make with this room not being cozy and relaxing. That's all I was saying.
That's fair. And like I'll say this, like my favorite kind of horror movies are ones that take place in the woods and cabins, right? Your Evil Deads, your Friday the 13th, your The Burning, etc. And I still find those cabins and stuff just incredibly like, I just want to hang out there. Just get away from it all, light a fire, I don't know. Maybe I'm fucked up.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
On to Batya and Zasha. Yeah, Batya's crying for Dayton. They were having her and Dayton were having some conflicts even after Weyland-Yutani got there, right? Because Batya called Weyland-Yutani, or she called Talbot, I guess, and Weyland-Yutani figured it out. And then she was trying to like deal with, and I understand her motivations. She wants to get her family off of this outpost. She's pregnant. She doesn't want to have her baby here. I understand all of those things. Okay. So like, I'm not mad at her. And as we said, this 2195, we're early enough in the timeline that maybe just how evil Weyland-Yutani isn't widespread enough yet, So, like, I get her, and, like, I feel her grief here, worried that she lost her partner.
Speaking of, we actually get an answer to a question we had earlier on in this run of Thaw episodes. After Zasha tries reassuring Batya for a bit, Batya even says, "I know he wasn't your father, but ellipsis." There we go. That answers that question.
He was a good man, Zasha. Yeah, big stepdad energy coming off of Dayton for sure.
That's for sure.
Right down to when he threw the plate of food at the wall in issue 1.
That's correct. Sorry, I was just reading this dialogue here.
Yeah.
The two of them have a little bit of a family discussion about how she should have treated Dayton a little better, and she's like, "Look, okay, I know, but I'm a moody teen, all right?"
Yeah, I didn't ever get the sense that they weren't getting along, right? Like, we're introduced with them together, and it seemed like they had a pretty good relationship, all things considered,
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's just like, when Batya says you could have been better to him, I'm sitting here going, we've never like seen her treat him badly though. So whatever, I guess that's like an informed attribute, I suppose.
Something maybe we just weren't present for, right? Because they've presumably been here for a long time. But this is a shitty place for a teenager to grow up with.
That's true.
Nobody around, just her mom and her mom's new boyfriend, right?
But while Batya's recovering from the run they had to do here, she's Zasha's bipping and bopping on a computer panel and then figures a way out of here. And then it smash cuts to Harrison and the doctor.
Harrison and Doc, right? They're in.
That's right.
Okay, so yeah, less cozy now. The lights are off. The stuff is broken, right? The screens are cracked. Okay, but this is back in that like meeting room.
Yeah, this is the room that Wendell and the sergeant were in, and we find that out because when the two of them come in, they find someone lying on the floor, and then Harrison says, well, wasn't Wendell up here with Sarge too, indicating that's who it was. And then they flip over Sarge, and he has a face hugger on him. But it's like a weird, like Snow White one.
Yes, and we now know, thanks to I think the intro to issue 2 or 3, that this isn't just a coloring choice by the artist. These are distinctly colored to be a different strain of face hugger, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Something that was lost on us on issue 1 or 2, whenever the first one popped up.
And
we also have a broken window, so presumably Wendell got dragged out the window, right?
I'm guessing probably.
Now we probably have a broken Wendell somewhere too.
Aha!
Okay.
There's a great smash cut here where the doc looks at Harrison and goes, "How much worse can this get?" And then the next panel is a smash cut of like 40 xenomorphs running across the ice towards the
classic
towards the what's it called, the keg.
The keg. Yeah, the big facility is called the keg for those who've missed our other episodes. Are the curse words censored in your issue?
Yes.
It's weird, right?
It is.
That feels weird. I feel like we've seen F-bombs all over these Marvel books, but maybe I'm wrong. Now I'm paying attention to it, though. But yeah, look at this fucking swarm of Xenos just charging to the keg. And then, bam, we get our intro page.
And then, as they're charging up, we see him running towards the keg. And then there's a panel of them climbing up the side. And then, look, oh no, they found a little hole in the outside wall surrounding the keg. Ruh-roh.
Yeah, it just happens to be the right size for a Xenomorph to crawl through.
Huh, what are the chances?
Here's a nice detail on this panel. Detail, it's not something you'll miss. It's gigantic in the panel here, but it's Batya and Zasha walking through the burning keg, right? Mm-hmm. There's a telephone booth, an emergency communications booth, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it says Talbot Engineering on it. This is like the save points in Alien Isolation, right?
Except this is a phone rather than like a card you slide into a slot, but yes.
Yeah, presumably it may also have a card slot because that's how their phones are, right? But there's something just like this in the picture, the Alien Romulus image. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't know if we should be doing too much pushing for Alien Romulus, what with the strikes and everything. We are fully in support of the WGA strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike, just so everybody knows. Well, I don't want to speak for you, Kenny. How do you feel about it?
I would have said something, but you just so happened to bring it up while I was in the middle of drinking something.
Okay. Yeah, this phone booth here looks a lot like, it's hard to see in the background of the Alien Day Fede Alvarez image. So that's fun. Just a nice little link there, right? But again, we fully support SAG-AFTRA and the WGA. So we're going to call this a reference to Isolation.
Works for me.
Sure.
So, speaking of, though, the reason they're walking by that emergency telephone booth is because the two of them are strolling through the halls of, I'm assuming this is the keg.
Yeah, it's got the Talbot Engineering stuff on the booth. So I'm thinking this is the keg.
And there's like stuff on fire and panels falling off and stuff. And they're having a discussion in which Batya mentions that she's not feeling very well.
Yeah, we saw her do some kind of an injection or something before.
Yeah,
they started trying to make their escape last issue. Probably in hindsight, probably some sort of painkiller, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe something like that. But Zasha's saying like they got to move fast if they're going to get there. So wherever they're going, I'm guessing it's some kind of a ship or something, right?
Where they're going is the escape ship that Batya mentions.
Oh yeah.
She said that one of the screen panels said that the ship is operational again.
Right.
So that's where they're headed. And while they're on their way there, they come by what looks like, I'm guessing, an ape trooper who got chest bursted already.
A chest bursted man. These ape sweaters, you can just see the detail on the collar there for that sweater. Those look cool too. I want one of those.
Ooh, that's interesting. During the conversation, Batya mentions, my job wasn't just to test the water source here. Dun dun dun. Whoa. I was doing overt work on the side.
She's been examining extraterrestrial samples that they started finding a year prior. Zasha's dad found the first one not long before this accident. Wow.
Your dad found out the first one not long before his accident. The way she said that implies those two things might be connected.
Sure, that's what I'm feeling. So this relationship with Dayton is pretty recent then. Was it just like the four of them? That'd be weird.
I don't know. Let's see.
She says, and then Zasha's like, that's what I found in the ice. That's why Dayton didn't want me to bring it back.
And Batya says, no, you found a new one, that's why WY is here.
Okay, you found a new sample from a new organism. That's what Weyland-Yutani wants. So
they did not find xenomorphs last time.
There are other extraterrestrial samples on. I guess they're on an ice planet, right? That's I guess it would make sense that there would be local species or something, but that's pretty cool. You know, one issue I have a little bit is the one thing I kind of loved about Fire and Stone, Prometheus Fire and Stone especially, was seeing all the weird mutated indigenous life, you know, because I don't think we had enough of that. Everything is there's just xenomorphs and shit everywhere and occasionally predators, you know. I want to see some of the other weird species.
Okay, everyone, I need you to sit down and listen to the huge plot twist that we just found out.
Okay.
Batya.
Whoa. I just got there.
Batya is carrying an alien in her to smuggle it out.
A ticket we can't cash now that everything's gone to hell. Well, we may have my research from the lab now and a biosample.
She describes it as a biosample that she is carrying out.
I don't have a sample in my bag. I snuck one out. I'm carrying it, sweetie. Holy shit. This changes everything. What
All right.
the fuck?
Well, sure. And then it cuts from there back to Doc and Harrison.
What the
fuck,
dude? Hold on. I'm still dealing with this.
And they're checking the computer log to see what's up, and everything is described as FUBAR, which makes sense. Let's see.
We are royally %, $, $, ed.
They discover that the Keg escape platform is operational. That's probably where Zasha and Batya are heading. Yeah. And they decide to go there as well.
Oh, the ship must have thawed out the ice that had frozen up the machinery. Okay, so like the fires and explosions and stuff might have melted some of the ice. Interesting. Some of the ice that was causing these machines to not work.
I'm guessing that's what it sounds like. And the two of them also start looking for some leverage to be able to get out of this as scot-free as they can.
%, $, that.
And they decide to leave the face-hugged Sarge there.
Leverage or some shit. Let's head to the platform, taking a small detour.
They also say that they're not even going to bother trying to find Zasha or Batya. They're just going to head out on their own. And Harrison's like, I don't give a shit what happens to him anymore. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I've gone from liking him to not liking him so much suddenly. But also, I don't know how I feel about Batya. What the is it? I will just have to keep reading.
Okay, well, luckily it cuts back to Batya and Zasha, and her water just broke.
Tested so many samples. Everything looked fine. I learned so much.
Apparently, okay, I guess I was slightly wrong. She's not carrying an alien instead of a baby. She is carrying a baby that has alien DNA in it to quote to make him quote a hybrid.
Jesus, this is wild.
That's cool.
I didn't want to start the process yet, but my hand was forced. So that's the injection. She injected a sample to hide. So that's what happened. So she is naturally human pregnant.
Yeah, she is not. Yeah, that thing we saw her do earlier was her putting the sample in it. Okay, yes.
So not a painkiller, a pain causer from the looks of things.
Well, according to her, something is wrong, and the baby needs to be induced.
I accounted for an early graft. This shouldn't be happening. Something's wrong.
She believes that even if they make it to the pad, I think this pregnancy is too delicate to survive a trip to orbit.
In that piece of junk. Jesus. And she's crying. It's the
And
only
then-
chance me or your brother have.
It cuts back to some xenomorphs crawling around through some tunneling. And we cut back to the Sarge, who was left on the floor as a chest burster is popping out of him, intercut with panels of Zasha helping Batya give birth.
Holy smokes. This book got fucking wild. First of all, again, one of those white, like different colored Xenos coming out, right? With shark teeth, which is kind of dope. I guess they all have kind of those sharp little pointy teeth when they're chest bursters, but it looks good in the drawing. And then, Zasha's just delivering a baby, delivering her mom's baby in the middle of this hallway.
She sure is. And then while she's holding the baby, she glances down and discovers that Batya has died in the interim.
Oh my God. And this baby is all wild colored.
Yeah, sure is.
Sasha's, there's a lot to put on. Okay, fucked up that, like, I'm noticing Zasha's or Batya's shirt with like it's like what would you describe that emoji as?
Like the neutral face.
Like the eyes are just like dashes and the mouth
Yeah,
is just a dash.
the eyes and the mouth are just horizontal lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of mimics her dead face. It's fucked up.
And then Zasha wraps up the baby and puts it in a little like container thing. And while she's lamenting her mom's death, we see the baby inside the container stick its hand out of the wrapping, and it only has 3 fingers, and its skin is the same shade of white that the face hugger was earlier.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of ill. I'm not going to lie. Did not see this going this way.
Let's see. And then it cuts to just like, maybe the garage or some other room or something. And a door opens. We travel through it down the hallway a little. And there seems to be some kind of, I don't even know what that is.
We see like steam shooting out of the walls of this hallway.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell if it was supposed to, I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be like, ice freezing things or what that was supposed to be. But we travel through some more hallways, and then a bunch of panels open in the floor and dozens of xenomorphs come out.
Were we seeing like xenomorph perspective climbing through these places? I'm betting it's the new Xeno we're seeing specifically.
Could be.
Yeah. Now this place is just overrun with bugs.
They approach a big window, crash through it, and then we cut back to Zasha, who's already talking to her baby bro.
Oh, she's saying, I couldn't deliver you into this world, but I can at least get you off of it. I think that her thinking is that the baby hasn't survived either.
Yeah, because she says, I'll bury you somewhere nice. Mom would like that, not knowing it's presumably alive.
Okay, so now I don't feel as weird about her wrapping it up and shoving it in a jar. Because I was a little bit like, that's a weird way
I was wondering why she did that too, but I was just like, all right, she just did. I guess that's what she had on hand, whatever. But as she's walking down the hallway, we see some more of like it looks like flames, but it's blue that I didn't know what it was earlier.
Yeah.
And then we see what looks like another white xenomorph.
Yeah.
And
face to face with Zasha.
Yeah, the white, weird-looking xenomorph comes out of nowhere and directly confronts her while she like holds the baby up to her chest.
That's a good
And
panel.
we can see it's one of the new ones because it has the spikes on the tail and has like the fish tail tip on it, and like it's one of the ones that they killed in the previous issue.
Sorry, taking a screenshot. That's probably going to be the.
She freaks out and picks up a big wrench and then cracks it in the face.
Whack.
A few times actually, and it just kind of like reels back in pain as she.
No, that's not her whacking it with the wrench.
Oh, you're right. It's not. I should have known considering it was a wrench. It's Dayton, baby.
It's Dayton with his wrench.
Yeah, just beating this thing, and as he holds up his wrench, the tip of it starting to melt from the acid. And he stands there waving it menacingly at the alien some more, and it rushes at him again. And just as it's about to leap on Dayton, we cut back to a few more panels of regular Xenos scattering around.
You can see the fish one's got like a hole in his head from where he got beat with the wrench. It's pretty dope.
That's right.
And Dayton says Jesus, so they won't censor that word, but they'll censor the swear words. Okay.
Let's see. It looks like he did successfully manage to beat this thing to death with a wrench because it didn't kill him. It's literally lying on the floor face up, and he's just standing over it, whacking it over and over with this melting wrench.
He smashed its head, like the front of its head off.
Oh, fuck.
He says, Zasha, you can come out now.
And then he turns around and turns out Dayton has been a synth this whole time.
Jesus, this book is getting nuts. There's only one more issue left.
That is not at all. Oh, and by the way, listeners, that's how it ends. The final panel of the issue is revealing that he is a synth. Like, the skin on his face is ripped off and you can see like the lens, you can see like, the butt plug looking organs leaking out from inside of him. Yeah.
Those bulbs that they're all full of, but he's got a lot more like seemingly robotic parts than your standard synth. So it's like, you can actively person. You like actually see like wires and cords and like,
actual what we would recognize as like mechanical parts,
like Terminator parts, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see any of this coming.
Well, there's actually one more twist in store because, like I said, that's the end of the issue. But like always, we have the cover of the next issue. And the next issue is Dayton standing there looking down at Zasha, who is hanging off the side of some paneling over a swarm of xenomorphs.
Yeah.
But Batya is reaching down to try to pick her up. So I guess Batya isn't dead after all.
Maybe not, because the cover for this one we thought was a ship taking off, but no ships have taken off in this.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea how Dayton got off the ship, but I think I guess it's believable. It's sad that, I guess we don't know for sure that Zasha or that Batya died, right? Zasha just kind of assumes.
Well, because Zasha also assumed the baby was dead too, and I'm assuming it's not. So
maybe Zasha's just really bad at telling the difference between alive and dead things.
Maybe.
This is nuts, dude. These are major fucking twists.
Yeah, that one was real fucking twisty. I had a great time. That was cool as hell.
All of this. This is getting weird, dude. I'm into it. I wasn't expecting this direction. Again, so much for your standard Alien storyline, I guess. Although I suppose a person being revealed to be a synthetic isn't really that happens several times in the Alien franchise.
It doesn't happen every time, but it is a kind of a classic move, yeah.
Yeah, so this is still in line. And then like seeing the Weyland-Yutani guys who are like, I mean, my prediction was everyone was going to meet up and try to like get out of this together, but just having them be like, fuck those civvies, we're out of here. It's us or them.
Well,
you know?
well, that still could happen because I
Right.
believe both groups are going to the same place to attempt to escape.
Are we going to learn that that Zasha is also a synth?
I was briefly thinking maybe Batia's also a synth, but we saw her like bleeding and stuff during the delivery scene earlier, so
Right.
I'm pretty sure she's not.
But we technically saw a synthetic, an artificial human, an artificial person, pardon me, bleeding red in Outbreak in the colored version, the colorized version of it. So again, I think they can put whatever color they want in those guys, you know. Not a lot of milk coming off of Dayton here. A lot of green from the acid and everything, but he's not actually bleeding any substance.
he's-
So
Despite the fact that his torso and the side of his face and almost the entirety of his arm is just straight up ripped open.
no wonder he threw the food at the wall in issue 1. He doesn't eat.
Also, I'd like to point out that I'm reading this on like a website where you can read comic books that get uploaded, and there is one comment on this issue.
Okay.
It was left 11 days ago, and the comment is, well, I don't have much in the way of praise for this arc. Feels pretty ho-hum and lacks tension, but that reveal at the end was cool, and I will agree with them that the reveal at the end was cool, although I do have praise for this arc. So far, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, this is unexpected. I'm a little concerned that they're going to be able to wrap this up neatly in one more issue. You know, this is going to be a needed another issue situation, I think.
I will say that I don't want to say I think it'll be easy for them to wrap it up, but I will say so far how should I phrase this? I was originally going to say there hasn't really been a whole lot of plot, but like there has been, but like most of each individual issue hasn't really been focused on the plot. So
Right.
there isn't really a whole lot of stuff that still needs to be wrapped up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I will say though that this is definitely my favorite issue so far of this arc, because like the other ones, you know, like we were discussing at the beginning of the episode, the other ones, I kind of had a little bit of trouble remembering what was happening in them or what had happened in them. In this one, I do not have any trouble remembering what was going on in this issue.
Yeah, I'm going to remember these these twists for sure. And I think it's kind of successful, like, to spring these all on you in issue 4, right?
Oh yeah.
Because we saw her do the injection into her pregnant belly in the last issue. They didn't explain it or tell you what it was. You know, we reasoned with it, painkiller or something, who knows, right? But now we get the reveal of what it actually fucking was, right? Dayton, there are no hints before this that Dayton was anything other than a human, with the exception of maybe the fact that he beat up the Weyland-Yutani people. We didn't see it happen though. We just saw that it had happened, and it was only like 1 or 2 people, right? So like that's not going to jump out at you either as suspicious. So this came out of nowhere, and like having absolutely no hints to that up to this point. I wonder if we go back and look at the other issues, if there are small hints or something, you know, I don't know, but it worked. It's really unexpected and surprising and well paced. I think if they had revealed that an issue earlier, it wouldn't have, like, then what do you do with it for a whole issue, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think this was the right time to reveal it. I'm into it.
Yeah, I had a great time. This issue fucking ruled. It's definitely my favorite one so far in this arc, because I don't want to say that the other ones were boring, because it's not that they were boring, but it's like not a whole lot really happened in them.
Yeah.
And then suddenly a whole bunch of stuff happened in this one, but all the stuff that happened in this one wouldn't have worked if you hadn't had the 3 previous issues before it, you know?
Yeah, they've been steadily ratcheting up the tension and the chaos, right?
They
of
spent
the
like
story.
they spent like 3 issues laying all these things down that separately you don't know what they mean, and then suddenly in issue 4 they pull that thread and all of them slam together, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's why they did all that stuff in the previous issues. Got it.
Yes, I will say, Comixology is still listing this as 6 issues, but everything else is pointing at 5 issues.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe that means, maybe honestly what that means, because on Comixology, it's just Alien, 2023. So maybe there's an annual coming. Maybe there will be a 6th issue.
Maybe
Some kind of an annual. Who knows? I don't think anything's been announced, but like the title page on this says 5 issues, or the splash page. The credits page says 5 issues. So I'm hoping they can pull it off in one, or pull it off reasonably well in one, because I mean, that was kind of that's our issue overall, right? Archie versus Predator needed another issue. Icarus needed another issue, or it needed to trim some other things so that the last issue could have been better paced.
Yep. Yeah, like all the other times they've needed an extra issue and they've been the standard mini-series length.
Right.
This is 1 issue less. So maybe it needs that 1 issue more to, like, it's already shorter than they normally are. So I'm really hoping it doesn't need 1 more issue, because it should have been 6 to begin with.
Yeah.
Or maybe it won't. Who knows?
We'll see. August 16th, that issue drops. So
cool.
We will get to that one in a reasonable time. That's like, what, 2 weeks away? A little over?
Just over,
the time of this recording. Yeah.
A little over 2 weeks, yeah.
We'll probably put it off a little bit because, Kenny, I think it's time for us, before we move into Alien Resurrection territory, to visit the Marvel comics we haven't done yet.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sounds good to me.
So there's 2 series that we haven't done. Alien Bloodlines, the first Marvel series, and Alien, I always forget the name. Revival, right. Plus the annual, the Alien annual,
Yep.
We're going to tackle those next on the show. Because timeline-wise, right, we're kind of there. Even this series that we're reading now takes place before those do, because those start in, I believe the annual is 2180.
Yeah, I don't remember when the annual takes place, but I know that Bloodlines proper takes place in 2200.
Yeah, Bloodlines takes place in 2200, and Revival takes place in 2202. So that's the order we're going to tackle these in. Our next episode will be on the Alien Annual from 2022. Even though it came out after those other series, chronologically it happens first, right?
Yeah, to put that into context, Bloodlines, this comic, Thaw, takes place 5 years before Bloodlines.
Yes.
The Alien Annual takes place, what'd you say? It was 2180, you said?
Yes.
So it takes place 15 years before this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
let me correct that. I think it actually is 2193.
2193. So it takes place 2 years before this. Okay. Right. So the events, like the next issue is going to be the Alien Annual, which took place 2 years before this comic. Right. And then Bloodlines takes place 5 years after this one.
Yes. And remember, we saw one of the things that Batia had on her desk was a file labeled Project Alpha,
which is a reference to the events of Bloodline.
And of course, we've already done Icarus, which, even though it wasn't directly stitched to Philip Kennedy Johnson's previous series, did essentially give us the result of the Lady Xeno that we see the guy having visions of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I haven't read Bloodlines in a very long time. I think I read it before we started the show. I read Revival while we were in the early days of the show, I think. I remember liking Revival. Bloodlines I was a little about.
I've read Bloodlines a couple of times. I mean, spoiler alert, I'm not that big a fan of it. I have, as of this recording, I have not yet read Revival. I think because we're about to get to it then anyway, I think I'll just hold off until it's time to, you know, read it for the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have read Bloodlines. I have not read Revival. I have also not read the annual yet either.
Okay, I've read the annual. We're gonna get some familiar things in that, things that kind of line up with a little book and audio drama called Alien Out of the Shadows. We'll be touching on those on the next episode. And right now, our plan is to split Bloodlines into 2 episodes, so issues 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6, and do the same with Revival after that. We're gonna do this Marvel series, taking a break when we need to wrap up Thaw. And then we will have done all of the Marvel books that are out so far, and then we can finally move on to everybody's favorite Alien movie, Alien Resurrection.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's what we got coming down the line, so to speak. Kenny, how are you liking Dark Descent? I know you picked it back up again. So did I recently. We both sort of took a break for a while.
Yeah, I took a break because I was playing Final Fantasy 16, and even though I have not yet beaten 16, I loaded it up a day or two ago and realized that the reason I haven't played it in a couple of days was because there was a part that I was stuck on, and I didn't feel like trying to get unstuck. So I loaded up Dark Descent, and I finished mission 5 and loaded up my team and sent them out to start mission 6. But I got to, like, you know, where they drop you off in the level and then just shut it off then.
Gotcha.
And so I'm at the very beginning of mission 6, which I have found out, I'm pretty sure, is like halfway through the game. I believe there are 12 missions.
Okay, nice. I also have finished mission 5 finally. Took a few runs, took a few reloads to get through that one, not gonna lie.
Same.
And yeah, I have not deployed for mission 6 yet, but I think I'm gonna do that right after we hit stop on this recording.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm feeling it, man.
Yeah.
It's still really good. You know, I took a break for a while there too, because it's a real thinking man's game, and I just didn't have a lot of extra brain power for a while there.
For sure.
But yeah, man, it's fun. Also recently hit prestige rank 65 on Fire Team, so 4 more to go.
That's right.
No.
Good work.
I want to hit 70. I want to hit 70 and get that silver armor, and then I'm probably good for a while. I've been playing recon and Fire Team with like single shot rifles, not sniper rifles. I don't want to go full sniper rifle. I like the versatility and the magazine capacity of the single shot rifles, you know, less reload times. Man, it's fun playing recon like that. That's like all I've been playing lately.
Yeah, I haven't played Fire Team in like a good few months. Like, I believe last time I played it was when me and you played it, which was a couple of months ago.
Right, when we were trying to wrap some stuff up for you so we could do that Infinite Journeys episode. Shout out to Tony Z.
That's right.
I know he closed the door on Infinite Journeys, but he's still doing YouTube stuff. So, all right, Kenny, let's get out of here. I want to go boot up Dark Descent. I'm feeling like some aliens stuff.
Cool.
What do you got going on? Where can people find you on the internet?
Well, I'm on various social media platforms, and I use the same handle for everything. It is at CYHOBBEZ. I am, I don't want to say I'm active, but you can most easily find me at Twitter. And as I mentioned newly in the previous episode, I'm also on Blue Sky under the same handle.
Blue Sky. And I think you mean X, not Twitter.
Okay, well, according to the app list on my phone, I do technically mean X. But also, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I even went on record then, I'm still fucking calling it Twitter. I don't give a shit.
What a debacle this whole X thing has been, huh?
Because here's the thing. I can look at it and the logo has changed to the X and the name of the app has changed to the X. But when you open it up, you still retweet and quote tweet things.
Yeah, it's still all duct taped together.
Yeah, like they changed the name of the app, but they didn't change anything else about it other than the name of the app.
Yeah.
So even though it is called X now, like I said last episode, it's still Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. I don't care.
I don't care either. You can find me on Instagram at Final Neal Retro and x.com. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm also on Blue Sky now at Final Neal, or however they do ats on Blue Sky.
You can just search for it's like your name .bluesky.social or something like that. But like if you just search the first part of your handle, your profile will come up. Like I did it right here while we were talking. I searched for my handle on the website and it was the first result. So you can just search for that and it'll pop right up.
I've done nothing with it, but I'm there. I also do a Mortal Kombat podcast all about Mortal Kombat TV shows, movies, comic books, non-canon things, and a bunch of stuff that's not Mortal Kombat at all, but we found excuses to talk about because it's related enough.
That's right.
Including the new episode that will be coming out maybe the same week as this one. I'm not sure. We're on a little bit of a different schedule over there. Oh, you can find that show at mkpodquest.com. Kenny, where can people find this show on the internet?
We have a website. That website is crewexpendable.net. Our Instagram handle is crewexpendablepod. Our Twitter handle is crewexpendapod. And if you want to send us an email, that email is mother@crewexpendable.net.
That's right. And don't forget our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@crewexpendable. Shout out to the YouTube audience out there, by the way. We're getting some nice comments on videos, and that's where we're going to do live streams for Alien games and things. There's a few you can check out over there now. Alien Trilogy, First Impressions of Aliens, Dark Descent. And I uploaded when we played on my Twitch, when we played Fireteam with B, I uploaded that video over there as well. A playlist called Xeno Gaming, right? So there's a reason to subscribe to the YouTube channel, even if you're listening in your podcast app.
Yeah, I do not know why I am incapable of remembering we have a YouTube page, but folks, we absolutely do. Go check it out and subscribe to us.
Yeah, and when we find reasons to do live stream things or gameplay videos or whatever, that's going to be the destination for it.
Mm-hmm.
And subscribe to this show in your podcast app. Rate us 5 stars, give us good reviews, all the places. We really appreciate it. Helps the show, helps spread the word. We will be back next episode to talk the Alien Annual from 2022. Until then, stay frosty.